And good morning, everyone. Welcome to this day.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, April 23rd, and it is National Picnic Day.
So that's a good one.
Isn't it?
And what
I like
a great
it.
week for picnics.
It's a beautiful week for picnics. So we'll tell you about that in just a bit.
I think that's a great one. And today we have on Christine Spar. She is the Director of Resident Services and going to tell you all about that. And we're going to talk about some statistics. That's the people that you call into when you want to find out something or have a problem. Also, Brian Gruner is coming by. He's the Director of Special Events and Recreation and going to kind of give us a little bit of recap of what they've been doing over the past few months. And we're going to show you some Easter photos as well. And we're going to have a segment with Palm Terrace. And coming up at the end of this week, actually in just about 2 days from now, is the wonderful Newport Beach Film Festival. And we have Greg Schwenk on, and he is going to tell us all about that and how you can go and see, I don't know, about 80 films I think they're having, right? Yeah.
Yep, there are a lot, and he'll tell us about which ones are the highlights this time. Okay, and we have one meeting today. It is the third strategic planning meeting, and that'll be in the Sycamore Room at 9:30 in the morning. Okay, so National Picnic Day. There are a variety of ways to take a picnic, of course. This meal harkens back to the mid-18th century alfresco French dining, when all you needed was a bottle of wine, a loaf of bread, some cheese and fruit, and you would have a party under the sky. Picnicking was common in France after the French Revolution, when it became possible for ordinary people to visit and mingle in the country's royal parks. In 18th and 19th centuries, picnics were elaborate social events with complex meals and fancy drinks that sometimes took days to prepare. The word picnic first appeared in an English letter of the Gallicized Lord Chesterfield in 1748 OED, who associates it with card playing, drinking, and conversation, and may have entered the English language from this French word. The practice of an elegant meal eaten out of doors rather than an agricultural worker's dinner in a field was connected with respite from hunting from the Middle Ages. So there you go, picnic way back when. And Ken, where should we be picnicking this week?
Well, so that means in French it would be les pique-niques.
Les pique-niques.
Yes. We'll have to ask John Nadell that later on. Hey, we got the perfect weather for a picnic, really coming up all the way to the weekend. This should be the warmest day of the week. Should be right around that 78-degree mark. Tomorrow we'll drop that by about 77. Thursday about the same. That might change by a couple degrees either way. As you saw, if you're watching us in the morning, we had a little bit of that fog out there, sort of like June. Get that June gloom in the morning, but it dissipates very quickly. And we may see that over the next few days. I definitely have it for Friday. And as we get to the weekend, we're going to see the temperatures drop and the clouds will be dancing, as you can see, the morning clouds on Saturday. Sunday, believe it or not, there is a slight chance of, I think, Sunday overnight drizzle maybe coming in. So we'll see about that. But overall, just great weather for a picnic, as you can see there. Let's take a look around the area. And I do want to tell you, if you're going down to certain areas, you know, I reversed the temperatures there. Sorry about that. South Orange County should be about 73, 74, and the beaches should be about 64. I changed that. I reversed that, and I apologize, because I wanted to point out that even though we're going to be in the 80s or so, anywhere from the mid-70s to the 80s, the beaches are going to be still hovering in the mid to upper 60s. Because of all the fog that was down there this morning. So cooler down there. So I'll try and reverse those two later. Sorry about that. But overall, it's just going to be great weather coming up for a picnic. So go out and enjoy it.
The opioid epidemic is affecting countless lives, including young adults. Did you know approximately 45% of opioid prescriptions to adolescents are made by dentists, often after wisdom teeth removal? These drugs carry risks, but you can help reduce your risk or the risk for a loved one. If prescribed an opioid, ask your dentist to consider limiting prescriptions to 3 days, using over-the-counter pain relievers, and properly disposing of unused medications. For more information, go to shatterproof.org. This has been a message from Shatterproof, United Healthcare, and this station.
Mind and Memory Program at Mission Hospital is an outpatient program specifically designed for patients with a memory disorder who have developed a mental health issue, such as depression, anxiety, or paranoia. Patients are welcome every day, Monday through Friday, up to 4 days a week. On-site meals and snacks are included, and transportation to and from the program is available. The program focuses on improvement in overall mood, function, and concentration, as well as a decrease in depression or anxiety. Call today to find out if you or your loved one qualifies for the Mind and Memory Program.
Welcome to the Invitation to Lexus sales event at South County Lexus. As our guest, you'll find a different customer experience and a remarkable selection of luxury, craftsmanship, and performance, all with exceptional values. Whether you prefer to lease or finance, we have your best interests in mind. You're invited to discover an extraordinary buying and ownership experience. At South County Lexus, different is amazing.
Hi, I'm Brian Rott, President and CEO of Cartmart here in Laguna Woods. My family's been in the golf cart business since 1959, and we win our customers over with the simple belief of we treat you right. We are proud to be the authorized dealer for Club Car here in Orange County and your go-to source for the sales and service to other major brands. We're conveniently located on El Toro Road, just minutes from Laguna Woods. So come by and see for yourself, while when doing business with Cartmart, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
Get out and live your life with the Buzz Around XL travel scooter from Golden. The Buzz Around is fun to drive with a tight indoor turning radius so you can go just about anywhere. It's also so easy to charge and offers all-day range so you can go further. The Buzz Around even has more leg and foot room for all-day driving comfort. Be safe with the XL's ultra-bright LED headlight. Plus, the Buzz Around XL can be easily taken apart into several lightweight pieces. See for yourself just how easy and affordable mobility freedom can be.
And I'd like to welcome Christine Spar. And Christine is the Resident Services Director. And it's great to have you on here today because we're going to get an overview of what Resident Services is about. You're going to give us some statistics and find out how people can utilize it because, let's face it, it's one of the #1 things people call in. But you want to make sure that when people call in, they're calling the right department and what it's all about. So that's why you're here today.
Well, that's great.
And
thank
welcome.
you for having me. I appreciate that.
I love it. I think this is an important thing that we tell everyone. So we're going to take a look at the first slide here. And this is sort of an org chart in a sense of what this is. Actually, I guess more of a flow chart of what this is all about. So I'm going to let you take it away.
Well, I'll be happy to. All right. Resident Services consists of the business center. That's when you first walk in, and you you may be just coming new to the village. You could be either leasing, or you could be already have purchased the unit, and so, or you could have a maintenance issue that you'd like to report. So we have the business center, and then we have the contact center, which is actually the call center. So when you call the 4600 number, you would be calling the call center environment, and we would take care of answering your gate clearance request, as well as any broadband questions or concerns that you might have, and we also have the technical support. So if there's any way that we can actually answer your questions or work through the problem with our televisions and the same site that you have, we can actually take care of that and make certain that you're all ready to go by the time you hang up the phone.
And this is something that was kind of instituted a while back, that instead of people having a list of what numbers to call, they can call for many things, not security, but for many things, this is the first number that they would call.
That's correct.
And they don't need to be told, okay, hang up and call broadband, or hang up and call this and that and that. Right.
Our goal is to one call does it all.
Right.
So when you call the 4600 number, you're calling in order for us to be able to handle multiple services, whether you're at the front counter or whether you're in the call center. We also have sales and leasing, as well as escrow. I do have staff too that can help you out with trust and trustees, and as well as any of the. So that helps because we have the persons with the expertise in order to help guide you through.
Wow, that's really nice.
yeah.
And of course, that would pertain to not if they want to create a trust for all their other assets and investments, but when it pertains to their residents.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. But that's
Exactly.
fantastic.
We also have the leasing office, and so often people do not have to call in once they join our villages.
Yeah.
And so the leasing office is actually the first place that they go to in order to get their identifications, in order for them to check in and make certain that all the paperwork is in file. We know who's actually going to be residing
Okay.
in the residence, and we can get any necessary information that we need in our system in order to make certain that we're there for them
Okay.
as well.
All right, so the pie chart here is really showing you the type of calls you get in and sort of the percentages, right?
That's correct. Actually, as a VMS environment, we handle over 368,000 calls annually.
Wow.
And of that, over almost 300,000 are actually handled by resident services. So as you can see, we're pretty busy.
Yeah, yeah, that's incredible.
We also have this also includes the inbound and also the outbound calls.
Okay.
Or if you call after hours, you might choose to go into a voicemail or an email, and then we answer them within the next business day.
Okay.
So anything
right.
before 4 o'clock are answered the same time, the same day. Anything after 4 o'clock is handled the next business
All
day.
right, so tell me about the gate clearance.
Okay. Well, gate clearance.
Pardon me while I sneeze here.
Bless you.
But the gate clearance, this was, again, calling the one number. You folks can help out with that for guests coming in.
That's correct. We
Okay.
do. Our representatives can handle all types of services to include the gate clearance. If all of our lines are busy, then a gate clearance call does go to the
Okay.
gate itself.
Okay.
And then they can also enter the information and be there for when the guest arrives.
Okay, and of course, this is part of the system that, again, was put in a couple years ago that Chuck helped put in, and others as well, the whole Dwelling Live, and this is something that dovetails into that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what we want to do is to eliminate excessive number calling
Yes.
for our residents, and so that they can get everything by just calling one number. And so we're graduating into that, which takes
Wouldn't
a
that be
little bit of
nice
time
if
to do.
anything we call nowadays was
Exactly.
like that?
Yeah.
So here are the tickets, and first of all, explain what a ticket is.
When you call resident services and you're asking for a service, then we produce a ticket
Right.
that goes to that section or division that actually handles that particular service.
Okay.
And they take that ticket and take it out into the field and they work it.
Okay.
Okay. So with that, it's very important to us that we take care of the tickets quickly and effectively.
Right, and these are more, this isn't, a ticket is not issued if somebody needs a gate clearance.
Oh, no, absolutely
This
not.
is for basically like kind of like a work order
Right,
in a sense.
that's good.
Okay.
And maintenance.
Yeah.
For maintenance and
Right.
plumbing, for carpentry, or if you just want to have status
Yes.
on your ticket. Where is it at?
Yeah.
When is it going to be worked?
Okay.
So what we do, if we can go back to the next
Okay, can we go
slide
back to
before that.
the first- there we go, thank you.
So in 2017, we handled over 93,000 tickets. That's my division specifically.
Right.
In 2018, over 92,000. But what's really, really great is 85% of those tickets were handled in 0 to 30 days.
Wow.
Which
Yeah.
is absolutely amazing. It's a really great
Yeah.
story, and it's important that we know that not only are we taking the tickets effectively so that the other sections and departments can do their job, but also that they're doing the job,
Yeah.
and they're doing it very effectively.
Yeah.
So we're very, very proud of those numbers.
Yeah, that's really good. That's a great percentage. Let's see the next slide here. And the thing that stood out for me, of course, is moisture intrusion. So people are calling in saying, I noticed there's a leak or something. It could
Or a
be like
flood.
mold or
It
anything
could be,
like that?
It could be a flood. It could be, with
Wow.
our excessive rains, it might
Yeah,
be.
so that's a big percentage
A
there.
leaking roof. It could be just a plumbing issue.
Yeah. Did that go
Okay.
up this year because of the rains we had?
It did.
It did, okay.
However, we are concluding those tickets by 52% of
Yeah.
where we were at
Yeah.
in 2017. So by process changes, by making certain we have the crews in the right place,
Right.
keeping up with the rains, they have absolutely done an outstanding job. That was one of the areas that needed improvement. And by giving information
Yeah.
and facts and having that ticket type of information as to what we're doing and how quickly are we doing it. You can see we had the landscaping increase of 14%, manor alterations 14%, and then paving.
Yeah.
That was something that we really hit very hard.
And that would be something, the sidewalks coming up, or,
That's correct.
or of that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yes, or a crack.
Yeah,
And a
yeah.
sidewalk that could be dangerous.
Right.
So we take care of that, or it could even be a tree that's uprooting part
Yeah.
of the paving.
Right.
bed. As you can see, the percentages of those part of the top 10, we really have increased our services and been able to make a finished product at the end, a finished
Yeah.
ticket. So that's
Very
really been
good.
great.
Now we're going to talk about a nice system, the kiosk queuing system, and this is something that's we know they're downstairs. When you come in, it's off to the side of the front desk there.
We actually have 2 kiosks. One is at the concierge desk. Another is right before you enter the business center. And then we also have 2 other possibilities of checking people in. One is at the concierge herself, as well as we have a tablet we can go out there with if the lines get really long.
Okay.
I'm happy to report that that doesn't happen very often, and we just do a really good job. The kiosk is extremely important to us, and that's because it gives us information as to who's waiting. It automatically puts you in line as to what service you've actually requested. It tells the people at the other end who's waiting to be served
Right.
and for what. And so we're really seeing our residents embracing the kiosk because they don't have to stand in a line waiting for a concierge. They just go to
Yeah.
the kiosk and they can check themselves in. We're there to help if they need any assistance at all. And it's really been very well received. Right now, we have manor alterations, the business center, community services, compliance, human resources, finance, and also purchasing. So let's say that you have an appointment with someone in compliance.
Right.
You can actually enter the information into the kiosk. They, in compliance on the 3rd floor, will actually see that you're here. They will gather up the information that they need in order to discuss the situation with you, and then they'll come downstairs and take care of it.
Yeah, that is
So,
very nice.
One day, our kiosk was down, and it took 3 people just in the lobby area focusing on putting people in
Wow.
the right areas.
Yeah.
And so we knew then that the decision,
What a benefit.
it was an absolute benefit, and the decision was a good one.
Very good. Now our last slide is going to, kind of what you were just talking about, the streamlined process, and it's really an amazing how well this has worked.
It has, and what it also gives us is information as to how many people do we need in order to
Right.
do the job. How effective are we? Do we need to train additional folks
Right.
in order to have that backup support?
Okay, let me ask you something. Do you see in the future perhaps putting kiosks in other areas, like maybe any of the clubhouses, so people can maybe work out an appointment going there, or eventually online, where people can maybe set up an appointments there and kind of work a virtual kiosk?
Well, the online is actually happening as we speak.
Yep. That's
Check-
why I said that, because
Check
I
is-
kind of knew that. But
Check is doing
I don't know the status
a really
of
great
it.
job,
Yeah.
and the key here is for us to be able to have whatever our resident needs at their fingertips.
Now, are there people out there, there's sometimes people come up to a kiosk and they're a little lost on how to use it, but you have somebody there in case they can look over and say, can you help me with this?
We are all there.
Yeah.
It's up to the concierge to actually greet the persons as they come in and to ask if they need any assistance at all. But what I'm finding now is those who frequent the business center or the leasing office, they just come in and go right over to the kiosk.
Yeah.
And so there's more of that, and that's because we're now up in technology, just like the banks and the Kaisers of the world and the other areas, that our folks should be able to just walk right in and do business with us the way they can elsewhere. On the same token, if a person isn't comfortable with the kiosk, then we can do it for them. And a concierge will actually check you in and make certain that you get settled and taken care of.
Yeah, so utilize those. They are very helpful. And I know once the online system is get up and running, we're going to have you back, and you're going to talk about that.
Well, I
maybe
appreciate that.
Maybe we'll have Chuck come back too.
Well,
you
that would
both
be
of you
great.
together, and we'll talk all about that once that is the resident portals what we're talking about, and once that kind of goes through its phases there and gets up to speed.
Exactly.
Because that's where all this is going to sort of come together easier online as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And they can do gate clearance online too.
Yes, very good. Thank you very much,
Well,
Christine.
thank you.
I
It's been my
appreciate you coming
pleasure.
up.
Well, thank
and I
you
know
very
we're going to
much.
see you again. We're going to get her back here maybe in a few months when that all comes to light, and it'll be interesting to talk about that.
Well, I'm very excited about the village, and I love providing this service, and so does my staff.
Thank you very much.
So,
We appreciate it.
thank you.
And
Thank
we'll
you.
be right back.
At Freedom Village Assisted Living, we provide loving care and support when your loved one needs it most. We believe in laughing more and caring more. Dining will be an experience, not just a meal. We offer opportunities to create new memories. Your family will feel like they're a part of our family as we work toward creating an extraordinary difference in lives worth living. To schedule a tour and complimentary lunch and for more information, please call us at 949-340-8108 or visit our website, freedomvillage.org.
David's in jail? Where?
Here in San Antonio, ma'am. I'm David's lawyer, and I'm trying to get him out of jail.
Well, what do you need me to do?
Why, $700, or better yet, send me a credit card number and I'll get him out of jail immediately.
When in doubt, hang up. Scammers will find family facts for an emotional effect.
Oh, can I talk to him?
I'm sorry, ma'am. He's in jail. If you want to get him out, you got to get me $700 immediately.
If at all in doubt, hang up. It could save you from financial ruin.
I choose to let someone else do the cooking.
I choose to let someone else do the driving.
Choose to experience the good life at Villa Valencia in Laguna Hills. Call or visit us today.
Are your hearing aids not working as well as you'd like? The person who programs your hearing aids is way more important than how much you spent on them. The good news is that we can help. I'm a retired electronics engineer who will precisely reprogram your hearing aids to your unique hearing loss. If that doesn't give you significantly better hearing, I won't charge you a dime. You have nothing to lose and better hearing to gain. So call Hearing Remedy right now and ask for your personal better hearing appointment.
Hi, it's Desiree from Irvine Subaru, where families come first. As a family-ran dealership, your family's safety is our #1 priority. Come in and find the perfect Subaru from the largest selection of Subarus in Orange County. All models are top safety picks by the Insurance Institute of Highway Safety. We offer the ideal balance of safety, performance, and economy. Irvine Subaru, more Subarus, more safety, more performance, more love.
And with me right now is Brian Gruner. Brian is our Recreation and Special Events Director. And Brian, it's great to have you on today. Today we're going to talk about kind of looking back a little bit at many of the things that your department has done, and kind of look forward a little bit. And at the end, we're going to show some folks some great photos from the Easter event at the Equestrian Center.
Sounds great.
So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So the first slide we're going to look at is going back a few months back, and these are just some of the many type of activities that you folks do.
Yeah, so looking at the events that we had in 2018, we had a lot of, we do a lot of events throughout the whole year.
Yeah.
We do about 280 of them. But just wanted to highlight some of the special events that really kind of, had a lot of participation, or people just raved about and really enjoyed it. So the Village Bazaar, which is kind of like our flea market, so to speak, where they can come in, rent a table, and sell anything that they want to sell. So that's always a great event. The Harvest Hoedown, again, that was in October of last year. We had about a little over 500 people attend that, and that's where we have some line dancing and just a real country,
that's
festive,
very
environment. So, and then Saturday Night Dance, we kind of spruced it up with the with a 70s disco dance, and a lot of people really enjoyed it and had a great time, and actually went over there, and there was not one person sitting, everybody was dancing.
Ah,
so
very good.
It's about 300 plus people all dancing and having a great time. The Arts and Crafts Bonanza, another great event where we actually invite outside non-residents to come in, and they can purchase some of the items that are created down at Clubhouse 4. And then we wrap things up with...
They do a lot of good stuff.
They do,
yeah.
There's a lot of talent down there, and they do a fantastic job with a lot of their things. Veterans Day, last year was really kind of special, where we had the Lieutenant Colonel from the 1st Marine Regiment come up and actually be a part of it. So that was really nice to see, and kind of gave it a different feel of an event. So,
and then on the next slide, we're going to go over a few more that are always fun.
Yeah. So the Bruce Springsteen concert, it's something that we're trying to endeavor a little bit more, is to kind of, a lot of people in the 80s, and that's kind of like their band. And a lot of those folks are moving in now. Later generation of the baby boomers coming in. So we're trying to kind of target that market too a little bit, and
bring in a lot of those tribute bands and all.
Right, and then the Village Holiday Festival, which is a great event where we do a toy drive with the local fire station.
Yeah, that is a very good.
Yeah, and so that's always a great event, and just having the grandkids come out. And we actually had a little area in the back where we had a fake snowball fight area.
That's right, yes.
So a lot of the grandparents even actually got involved with, participating, having a little snowball fight with the kids. So it was really cool. And then, of course, the volunteer luncheon is always a great event where we recognize all the volunteers, which we have over 500 of them.
Yeah, and I know it's something you have said, and just over the years, without the volunteers, I know just, our show, our Trading Post show, a lot of that stuff just wouldn't get done.
Yeah. No, so we do rely heavily on the volunteers to do some things for us, and we certainly want to appreciate that.
Yeah, and they have a lot of fun.
They do. Yeah.
Now, we're going to give an update on some of the things, the programming update and things that are coming up and talk about.
So the programming update, a couple weeks ago, actually it's almost 4 weeks ago now, we had the Health and Wellness Expo, which basically replaced the Senior Summit that we used to have with Lisa Bartlett here in May. So that kind of took that place of that event, and I think we had a great turnout. We had over 1,000 people there.
Yeah.
And we had some guest speakers, and we had some demos on the fitness equipment, also some aqua aerobics classes, demos, and people can try out. So really great event. I was really pleased with that. And then getting back to the volunteers and the clubs, club and recreation collaborative events, it's something I'm really trying to focus on as well, is to build that relationship with the clubs who do manage, somewhat our facilities, like the tennis or lawn bowling or the pickleball, so that we can work together with them, and then we're, offering programs, not only what the club provides, but we can reach out to the community and really create some, entry-level, beginner, introductory types of programs to get residents who come out and participate.
Yeah. So, and again, the clubs do so much that people may not even realize that they do. And as you said, in a sense, they help run a lot of the facilities. We have the table tennis here, which is in a sense is sort of a club, or the PC and the MAC. This is all just on this floor.
Right.
And the garden club and all that. It's incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, and to have the, if we were to run it in-house and rely solely on staff, I mean, you would look at a huge expenditure in adding, additional staff. The citizenship class and the ESL program is something that we started about a year ago, almost a little less than a year, about 9 months ago, last fall. And essentially, we're working with a nonprofit retired teacher organization to teach English basically to those it's their second language, and that's been tremendously successful. We have over 100 people registered for that. They're actually at a point now where they're looking to expand and they kind of outgrew their classrooms, so now we're looking at
That's actually good news.
It is really good news, and it's something that I think is needed here within our community. So that's very, very exciting. Upcoming events, well, the Easter at the Equestrian, which is happening this Saturday, and we're going to go into that a little bit later. The Village Games is wrapping up this week, and then Memorial Day observance is coming up. We also have the Arts Affair coming up in April at the, actually, this coming up weekend. So
so
a lot of activities going on.
All
without
right.
a doubt.
Now, I wanted to ask you on the Memorial Day.
Yes.
Are you guys working with the city? Are they still doing the 5K run or?
Yeah, the 5K run is still
or whatever
happening.
it is.
Yeah, so
10K.
that's coordinated through the city.
Right. Okay. But I know they dovetail into us.
They do.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll
That's
get
still
more
gonna-
details.
Yeah.
When that comes up. I didn't see it on your list here, and I was wondering if that's still.
Well, it's not something that we
happening.
actually coordinate. I mean, we basically just allow them the
Yeah.
entry, and then they kind of run through here and they run back out, and then. But it's not an event that we actually coordinate.
Right,
so.
right. But we tell people kind of what's
Yeah.
closed that day, the
Right.
gates and all. Facility improvements. This is always something.
Yeah,
that's,
so I mean, that's
ongoing.
one thing. Obviously, in the last few years, we've really kind of focused on improving our facilities and also taking assessments. So Clubhouse One, we did a study with a architectural company and firm to kind of evaluate the building
Yeah.
structures. So that's about, it's pretty much complete. So now we're just waiting for the review on that.
Right. Yeah, and that I know that's again something that's been talked about for quite a long time.
Yeah. Yep. And then I don't know if you're familiar, but
Yes,
the drop-in
drop-in
lounge
lounge.
TV was definitely a hot topic issue. So we put it back in place. However, it's kind of restricted programming. So it's back in the drop-in lounge. The program is actually TV6. So
Yes, that's what I
you'll be
hear.
everywhere.
I'll be everywhere.
At least down there.
Yeah, at least down there. Now, Clubhouse 5, one thing I wanted to ask about this, because I haven't heard the status, and maybe it's complete, the AC system. Was that done, for a while at Clubhouse 5?
At Clubhouse 5?
Yeah.
We're still...
It had like a temporary
Yeah,
one?
we're still working on that.
Okay.
There's still some minor issues
Okay.
with it. But it has been installed, but we're still kind of fine-tuning it.
Okay,
so.
all right, that's what I thought. And then, you're also doing some plastering work and new tile.
Yeah, so Pool 5 opened up a few weeks ago, so they basically replastered the whole pool. They replaced some of the tile. A lot of the tiles were falling off and things like that in the spa in particular. So we power washed the actual pool deck. And then now we're looking to purchase some new, pool furniture. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's going to be coming up in the next couple of months, and should be ready for summer.
Okay.
So
IKEA.
IKEA has pool
IKEA,
furniture.
they have pool furniture.
I'll have to check that out.
All right. And then the Performing Arts Center, and this is something that's been being looked at for improvements for, again, quite a while.
Yeah, so now we're just wrapping up. We're basically 90% done with the design engineering aspect of it, so which basically means that once that is complete, then we can go ahead and go out to bid.
Yeah.
And the contractors can, evaluate it, and they have a full design engineer, specs available to them, and so hopefully, hopefully we'll get to that project soon. So
Okay.
it's just a matter of going through the process.
And when more details come out, we'll get you
definitely.
back and go
Yeah.
over that. In the facility improvements, of course, the pickleball was.
Yeah, so pickleball, I think most people probably know that that's open now. But we're looking to actually expand programming there, what I kind of mentioned earlier. So we're looking to offer some beginner clinics,
Great.
pickleball clinics,
Yeah.
also some tennis clinics, and really get people, signed up and just come on out and just try it, and we have this brand new facility and we want to make the most of it. So we're looking to add some lesson programming in there.
Yeah, I
in
think
addition
that's
to
really good.
Possibly down the line where we can actually have some competitive match play against other organizations within our surrounding area, like Laguna Niguel, for example, or Tustin.
That would be fun.
Yeah, so there's a lot of potential that we're looking at.
And the garden centers,
Garden
a lot of that had been worked on maybe several years ago, I think even before you got here, or right around that time, and there's a lot of work that needed to be done, but they look so much better now, and there's still a lot more improvements you're doing.
No, that's one of the areas I've really been kind of focused on the last 6 months. We still have some capital money available to do some additional projects over there, so we're looking to do that. One in particular is a common gathering area over at Garden Center 1, where residents or gardeners can come together and they can socialize, and we can have some lectures down there and really make it a nice, fun little place. So that's actually out to bid right now. And then in addition to that, we're just looking at some weed abatement. Right now, the weeds is a really big issue with all the rain that we had, and the weeds are almost up to here. So
yes,
but
does your staff want to come to my house and take care of my weeds?
Well, we contracted that out,
okay.
So you're going to have to contact the contractor. And they'd be happy to, as long as you're paying.
Yeah, we're all going through that right now, but
But just real quick, I do want to mention that garden centers look phenomenal. I mean, they look so much better than when I came here 3 years ago, and we still have some work to do, but it's getting there.
And I think that the idea of maybe getting some lectures in, you can work with some of the local nurseries and things like that. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I think it would
gardeners
be-
always want to soak up that information.
Right. It'd be very beneficial.
See, there was a pun there. Soak up the information.
Soak up the information. I got
There
it.
you go. All right. Let's talk about. I think we talked about the facility. I think that was an extra slide. That we
Yeah,
had.
that was an extra little side note there.
Operational highlights and Saddleback Emeritus, of course. There's that's been a big part of this community.
Yeah, it has been. And I just want to mention that over the last year or so, the director of Emeritus and I, we've been meeting on a regular basis and really kind of solidifying our relationship, our working relationship. Hence, that's how we came up with the survey, to get a better understanding what our community really needs.
Right.
And we had about 2,000 people respond to that survey, so which is fabulous.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So now we're in the process of basically getting that information and just kind of going through it and seeing what our residents want. So
that's very good. Now this one, I haven't. California Parks and Recreation Service. You're going to have their coming in here or helping out with things. And
yeah. So California Parks and Recreation. It's actually not service. It's a California Parks and Recreation Society.
Oh, society. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, they're a very big professional organization, nonprofit here in California.
Okay.
Also nationally, there's the National Recreation Association. So they're very great in providing training, networking, team building.
Right.
So we've been going through regular training sessions that is offered through CPRS.
Okay.
And actually, one of my biggest goals at the end of the year, not at the end of the year, kind of the middle of the year, they have what's called the installment banquet. And that's where basically all the different local agencies, they get together, they're recreation professionals, and they elect the new president for the next year. And we're actually able to host that here over at Clubhouse 2, which was great because it just gives us really good exposure in introducing our community to
really
city
cool.
agencies all within Orange County. So
that was really good.
It was really great. And Beth Perek was there, and she did a great presentation, just kind of welcoming everybody and talked about our community a little bit. So.
Fantastic. Now, we are some of the operational highlights, and of course the quarterly club presidents and meeting. These are always really important for the clubs.
Well, and really what we're focusing on here is not having everybody come together in a big group like we used to. It's more specified towards the clubhouse that they're actually at.
Okay.
So for example, at golf, Tom McRae, the golf manager, will meet with the tennis president, the lawn bowling president, and the pickleball president, and they all meet together at the same time and just kind of go over needs and expectations and service levels and things like that, and how we can improve in making their
that's very good. Yeah,
their club a better place. We really want to focus on making sure that they understand that this is for our community and it belongs to everybody that lives here. So just creating a good partnership.
Now the online ActiveNet.
Yeah, so online ActiveNet. So basically, ActiveNet is our reservation system. So anytime somebody comes downstairs to do book a reservation, they would have to work through one of our staff members down there. So this will actually allow the resident, to be at home, go online, and they can already see what's available.
Okay.
In terms of rooms and things like that, and then that way they can come in with the dates and times, and they can just.
That'll really save time.
Yeah, it's going to really speed things up for us downstairs. Sometimes we have reservations. That would take 2 hours to complete. Okay. So that's just a lot of time.
Is this up and running right now?
It is up and running right now.
Okay.
We're going to promote it out to the community.
That's really good.
Through the marketing department, and I think it'll be very, very beneficial. Eventually, we're going to get to the point where people can just do everything online.
Right.
Where they can book the room, they can fill out the registration paperwork and all that kind of stuff, and then basically we'll just approve it.
Yeah.
So that's the future of where we're going.
Okay. And then you instituted staff tasks, checkoff lists at all facilities.
Yeah, and that's something that's kind of been brought up numerous times. We have the standard operating procedures.
Right.
So out of that, we incorporated a checkoff list, so to speak, that every staff member is supposed to be doing on a regular basis throughout their shift, whether it's picking up trash, walking the perimeter of the facility, or putting chairs back and things like that. So yeah, so
that's great.
Yeah,
that's why they kind of keep on track and what they need to do.
Yeah.
And we're going to finish up here just showing some
Easter
photos
highlights
from Easter. And
yes.
This was, of course, at the Equestrian Center. This is a huge event every single year.
Yeah.
You look at all the kids there, and just have a great time.
No, they had a wonderful time. We kind of changed things up a little bit. We actually didn't have the horse parade, which we felt like wasn't quite part of an event like this. But so we had games, we had a bounce house, we have the Easter Bunny, of course, we had free pony rides, we had a little petting zoo area. So
look at this.
Yeah, no. So it was a very nice event. Kristen, our equestrian supervisor down there, she hasn't even been here a whole year, so she's kind of taken this on by herself, and she did a great job.
I mean, it's a fun event. It really is. Yeah. I want to thank Mark Wavinovich for giving these photos. He, of course, does a lot of photos for your recreation events, and he's a great photographer.
So he sure is.
So thank you to him. Thank you to you for coming up. We appreciate it. All right, and when that whole ActiveNet gets online and gets going, and I know it's partly online, but where people can do it totally online, we'll definitely.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's going to be a big deal.
Do a step-by-step how to do that.
Yep.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, Brian, take care.
Thanks, Ken.
We'll be right back.
Probably know me best as Bowser from Sha-Na-Na, but I'm also president of Social Security Works PAC. And you know, when I'm in Laguna Woods, I always watch Village Television. Grease for peace.
The Santa Ana Zoo goes beyond animal attractions. They are committed to providing recreation and education while highlighting the message of conservation. I caught up with Lauren Berg, educational specialist, to learn about their education programs. We are in Exploration Outpost, and I've caught up with Lauren, who's going to tell us a little bit about the volunteer and education programs. So, very fun area that we're in, and you said this is where some of our educational programs happen, right?
Yes, this is actually one of the really popular places for our education programs, including our Zoo Explorer. We use a lot of volunteers. We would not be able to do our education programs without our volunteers, and they range in backgrounds, ages, and abilities. Our docent program and our interpreters are the main ones that help us with those programs, and we absolutely love retired teachers and other people who just love kids and animals and want to come share the zoo with that next generation.
So what are some of the requirements as a volunteer?
So we don't have any starting requirements. You don't need to have a background in education or a background with animals. We do all of the training. We just ask for a lot of enthusiasm. And of course, availability while the zoo is open, because most of our programs take place during the regular hours of 10 a.m. until noon, but we also have volunteer opportunities throughout the entire day from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m.
And what are some of the things that they would be doing?
Sure, so the very first requirements for our volunteers is attending an orientation. We have orientations on the first Saturday of even-numbered months, so every other month. And we have volunteers that help with education programs, leading students around the zoo and doing activities. We have volunteers in our farm, helping people interact safely with the goats and the sheep and our other ambassador animals. We even have volunteers that help out our animal services staff if they're looking for something more physical.
And if somebody wanted to participate as a volunteer, can they just go to your website?
Exactly. All of our information about volunteering is on santaanazoo.org. Under the support tab, they can click on volunteer at the zoo and find all of the information they need.
Okay, perfect. And then, you know, here we have this exploration point here. What are they going to find here?
So here at the Exploration Outpost, you're going to find our reptiles and amphibians. We get a lot of guests that are afraid of snakes, and we have two big, beautiful boa constrictors here at the zoo. And it's a great opportunity for people to kind of face their fears, and also for our volunteers to give some conservation messaging and help people get past those myths and realize that these animals are really important to our environment and have benefits for people as well.
The Santa Ana Zoo is located right off the 5 freeway off 1st Street on Chestnut Avenue in Santa Ana. Very simple to get to. The zoo is open 7 days a week from 10 to 4, closed major holidays. There is a senior rate, 60 years and over, of $9. Wheelchairs and electric scooters are available for rent. For more information, visit their website at www.santaanazoo.org.
Newport Beach was the perfect setting for an international film festival.
I'm Kate Beckinsale.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Milo Ventimiglia. You're at the Newport Beach Film Festival.
You don't have to twist my arm to get me to Newport Beach. It's beautiful.
Welcome back. Well, this weekend, starting Thursday night, is a big weekend for films. So if you're a film buff or you just love to watch movies, we have the Newport Beach Film Festival coming. And I have Greg Swank here. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Lisa.
So there's a lot to cover. So why don't we start with, what is the Newport Beach Film Festival?
Sure. So this is our 20th anniversary. It's hard to believe that 20 years ago we founded the festival. Todd Corderero and myself sat down and said that there's no more beautiful place than Newport Beach to host an international film festival.
Right.
You fast forward to today, and we screen 350 films, 50 different countries. We host 20 special events ourselves, let alone what is also thrown by other entities and organizations. So there's really something for everyone. And that runs April 25th through May 2nd.
Right.
And it's open to the public. And I think a lot of people think, oh, a film festival is only for people who are in the film industry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone's invited to the Newport Beach Film Festival.
Okay, all right. So, wow, that's an awful lot of films.
That is.
A lot of countries. How do you condense it into 7 days?
Sure. So one of the things that we do, we screen across a number of locations in Newport Beach. Obviously, we have the Fashion Island in the Lot, which is newly remodeled. It's a beautiful theater. We have the Big Newport, which is right across the street. We use the Lido Theater, which is one of the most historic theaters in Orange County. And we also utilize the Triangle, which is over in Costa Mesa.
Okay.
And so people can come in, they can buy a pass, go to everything. They can buy a weekend pass and just come in for the weekend, or they can buy individual tickets.
Okay.
And those range in price from $16 up to $60 if they want to go to a movie that has a party associated with it.
Okay.
And then the other thing we've been doing from a design is that we have an opportunity for people to go, say they wanted to go to Fashion Island and go have lunch and then go see a movie, and then they can go to an early post party. So people are going, oh, I don't want to go out to 1 in the morning. So on Friday and Monday and Wednesday of the festival, we have our early evening sunset receptions where people can go see a movie earlier, go to a party, and then go home if they want to.
That sounds great. And is the parties generally at the location of where the film is?
Not necessarily. For our later evening events we're doing on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, they are at the Triangle. So you can come in, either get dropped off by Uber or Lyft, or you can take your car, park it, you can go see the movie, and then literally you walk right down to the post party, and that goes on until 1 in the morning if you want to.
Oh, okay.
But these other ones, the ones that are done in the early evenings, are what we feel are iconic locations in Newport Beach. Our opening sunset reception is at Sherman Gardens in Corona del Mar. Our Monday sunset is at the resort at Pelican Hill.
Okay.
And then our Wednesday happens to be at the Lido Marina Village right there on the water overlooking Newport Harbor.
God, and you know what? We did the weather earlier. You guys are in luck. It's going to be
And
beautiful.
it's perfect weather, and then it's not too warm
Right.
where I'm going, hey, I want to go to the beach, but just cool enough to where everyone wants to go to the movies.
Yeah, that's perfect. All right, let's talk about some of the actors over time have been really great actors.
No, we've been very blessed. But look, Newport, it's a great place even if there wasn't a film festival. So a lot of these celebrities, both in front of and behind the camera, would want to come down to Newport Beach and experience the festival. On the other side of that, we have a very strong seminar program. And the seminar really attracts a lot of men and women behind the camera. So things like we've had Aaron Sorkin, who created West Wing and Newsroom, and then also was there for Social Network. And it's one of those things where you get to meet the people that have crafted some of the most innovative programs, both on television and on the big screen.
Right.
And so that's the other side of the festival experience. For people who go, well, I really love movies, but what's a film festival and what makes it special? What really makes it special is that those people are there. And they'll take the time, usually after the film, to talk to you about how they did that shot, or how they came up with that idea, or what was it like to work with that particular actor, or in some cases with a documentary. How did they draw out that story from that particular subject? And so it really takes what is a passive experience and makes it active.
Okay.
And I think that's what's really special about any festival, but especially the Newport Beach Film Festival. 90 to 95% of our films will have someone associated with them coming out to Newport Beach.
Well, that's great. So when they choose a film, it's possible that there will be some discussion beforehand and
Correct.
then also after in most of the films.
That's correct.
That's
yes.
great. What do you think the filmmakers are looking to accomplish by having their film in a film festival?
Well, I think one, they want to be screened in front of an enthusiastic audience, and Newport's been very good at that. When you go to screenings up in Los Angeles, there's a little bit of boredom, for lack of a better term,
Okay.
in that you can go to a movie screening 2 a day in LA. In Orange County, I think people are appreciative that they get this experience, and I think they're really rooting for that film and that filmmaker. And the filmmaker can feel that. Whoops. And I think they really appreciate that.
Okay.
So they want to have an enthusiastic audience. They may want to get their film picked up by a distributor.
Okay.
And then we've been very successful with that. And then they also may want to be working on their next project, and many times they will be talking with other filmmakers that are at the Newport Beach Film Festival about future projects.
So collaborations too. Okay, so how can people get involved?
So a couple of things. One, obviously you can go to newportbeachfilmfest.com and purchase a ticket. Two, we have a really wonderful scholarship program, and it's something that if you're going, hey, I really believe in movies and I want to help the next generation, so we work with high school kids that maybe can't afford to go to the movies, and if you want to make a donation, we do a discount and you do a donation, and we bring in these kids to see the films.
Okay.
If people really want to get even more involved, we have a year-round program called the Orange County Film Society, and that's year-round screenings of award contenders. We've been great at selecting the top films that have gone on to win Academy Awards, the BAFTAs, all that kind of stuff before they come out in theaters.
Okay.
And then we have a very unique program with Celebrity Cruises, and it's our Newport Beach Film Festival at Sea. And this is our third year. Our first year we went to Alaska. This year we went to the Caribbean, and I'm proud to announce that for our 20th year for the festival, we're going to be doing the Newport Beach Film Festival in New Zealand and Australia.
Wow.
And that'll be in December, and it's where you get to go on a great cruise, meet different filmmakers, and we have some private screenings that have come from the festival, and it's a really special experience.
That sounds very exciting. So if they want any information, it's a Newport Beach Film Festival.
Newport Beach Film Fest.
Oh, filmfest.com.
Okay. We make it shorter for you.
Okay, perfect. And then also we have a couple of general screening vouchers that we're going to give away. So we have a couple of those. So send us an email at lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. So the folks that send us an email saying, hi, I want to go to the film festival, we'll go ahead and get you some free tickets. Thank you so much for all the great information. Good luck to you. I know you guys are swamped, and we hope to see you out there.
Thank you very much.
All
Take
right.
care.
I'm Wendy Miller, your Smiley Realtor with RE/MAX and your Laguna Woods real estate specialist. I'm here today with the first of my 7 home selling tips for seniors. Some seniors prefer to rely on the real estate agent who has sold the most properties in their neighborhood. Others seek the most often recommended from family and friends. The right professional will ask questions about your future goals. He or she will help you decide upon a realistic listing price and answer all of your questions promptly before asking you to sign a listing agreement. Give me a call and I will help you make the right move.
What lies inside all of us is more than data. It's life. What's flowing through America's veins is its diversity. We ask for 1 million individuals to come forward and stand on this landmark in history. All of us are different, and it's those very differences that will lead to answers for generations to come.
Did you know that Charlie Brown has never been able to keep a kite in the air?
This is what you call a failure face.
The only thing wrong with Charlie Brown is his lack of confidence.
Almost frightening to conceive what a good man.
And welcome back. And Lisa's going to tell us about the movie coming up.
Yeah, it's
Is
called
that Friday? Yes.
What They Had on Friday at 2 and 7 p.m. And it's after her ailing mother wanders off during a blizzard, Bridget returns to her childhood home in Chicago, accompanied by her rebellious daughter. Forced to referee between her father's stubborn insistence that his wife remains at home and her equally determined brother's efforts to place her in a memory care facility, Bridget struggles to make sense of a lifetime of family conflict. With her mother's decline becoming increasingly obvious, long simmering resentments bubble to the surface. Ooh. That sounds kind of disturbing, but it sounds like, you know, there's a lot of folks dealing with this kind of stuff. Yeah, look at that. It's Hilary Swank, Blythe Danner, Michael Shannon, and Robert Forster. And this film was made in, 2018, so very cool. So that's going to be on Friday.
Yeah, and interesting, you know, you just had talking about the film festival in Newport. This was a film festival winner.
Oh,
I think it was like the Sundance, and I think
it says
won a
right there,
couple.
yeah, Sundance.
And but
awesome.
you see, when you go to these film festivals, you never know what's going to come out of it. It's incredible. Now, incredible weather, right?
Yes,
good
for the
weather
week.
for a picnic. And this is supposed to be the warmest day, about 78, and then going forward, we should drop by a few degrees here and there. But when we get to the weekend, we're going to be partly cloudy, and then on Sunday, there's actually right now, maybe as we get to the evening, a slight chance of some drizzle coming in. But that's, you know, this time of the
so
year.
far away.
It's so far away. Things can change.
Things will change.
All right. Great weather around the area today. And tomorrow, you're going to let us know who's on the show?
I am. We have Auto Nation, Toyota Irvine will be here. We have the Reform Temple, Thrive, and the Senior Center. So we have a lot of great stuff tomorrow.
All right.
Have
you
a great
take
day.
Care.
Okay.